A lot of you ladies will go to hell and back for the wrong man, but even the thought of giving submissive energy to a good man is like cringeworthy to y'all. And the select women who are happily submissive always seem to be ostracized by friends, family, and women looking in from the outside. Secretly, they hate to see a happy, cohesive relationship because they've never been taught it themselves. A lot of y'all can't submit because you're too damn selfish to surrender, period. Y'all will yield to your boss, your pastor, your father, etc., but then put up a damn fight when it comes to yielding to your man. And the ironic part is it takes an extremely strong woman to submit, to put her ego to the side and understand and realize that it's not all about her.
Well, a couple of things. They dislike God. The Bible lets you know they don't even know him. You can't know someone you haven't seen. You have to know God through somebody else. And Genesis 3:16 lets them know who they're supposed to know God through, just like Eve was supposed to know God through Adam. So at the end of the day, they don't like the fact that their desires are to be to their husband and that he will have rule over them. They don't like that they're going to experience a lot of sorrows. They don't like that. They don't like that they're employed by their husband. That's the whole point of a proposal, is that you're employed to do what he needs while he goes out and conquers the world. Then the second thing, they want to get all their advice from their peers when the Bible clearly tells them who they get advice from. And it's supposed to be the mothers upward in the church. So also to add to the topic, she said something about the family, the friends, all the other voices, the people that she shouldn't be listening to, because the scriptures told her to listen to those that are 60 and upward, those mothers in the church, to teach you how to love your husband, to teach you how to love your family. A lot of these women, they can skip over. Back in the day, mama used to say, when we gonna see my grandbabies and blah, 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 blah. You know why I ask that? Because they get another life spark. They get the life spark that they've been looking forward to, that the scriptures tell you a just man can bank on. If he is truly a just man, you look forward to your grandchildren and your great grands. And so those grandmothers and mothers, they're looking forward to the next generation. So they would say, baby girl, why you ain't married yet? Well, in today in Babylon, this adulterous generation, they could skip over all of that and just go right to the baby and check it off the list. So yes, continue to keep seeing baby showers that only have mothers, because they don't really need you, brothers. They don't need you anymore, because they know that most of their family members who saw those children, who got even a glimpse of, oh my God, my grandbabies, they don't care whether there's a father there or not, because at the end of the day, a lot of those family members, friends that she was talking about, they have regrets because there's things that they can't do anymore, and they live vicariously through that woman. And so they'll celebrate a baby shower without a man. They'll honor having children without a father and a husband, and pastor will too. And that's why they get away with it, because this is what creates feminism in the church. And I'm going to keep talking about it because it's my generation's time, and we got a lot to fix. Yes, a lot to fix indeed. And it will be fixed by any means necessary, because we're going to make sure that the next generation is not mad at us. We're going to make sure that we properly pass the baton. We're going to make sure that those things that we know we messed up on, the ball that we dropped, because from the previous generation before us, or whatever the case may be, we're going to make sure we pick it up like men and even like women. And we're going to do this thing properly so that generations after us can be better. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you, I don't care how much reading I did in the scriptures, I never read anywhere that the mother of Jesus, Mary, ever acted like some of y'all act today. I don't see anywhere where Mary, after hearing what the angels told her, after getting the message from the Most High Yahweh, I don't see nowhere where she abducted Yahweh's child and did whatever she wanted to do. But yet a lot of y'all pastors allow this. I'm coming right for that. Y'all allow it. And so, yes, a lot of brothers have made mistakes. A lot of brothers have misstepped. And it's on us. It's on our shoulders. However, once a woman runs from her covering, and you know she's run from her covering, or you need to do your due diligence. You need to quit welcoming people in without doing due diligence. And once you find out that an individual has run from their covering and they're not a widow, you need to get to the bottom of that. And there needs to be the kind of masculinity that Yeshua walked on this earth with, the kind of masculinity that made the Pharisees upset, that ruffle their feathers every time he was in the multitudes. That kind of masculinity needs to come back. You can get mad and upset because I'm talking the way I'm talking all you want to, but that kind of masculinity needs to come back to say and do what's right. It'll be a very heavy price to pay if we can't have a conversation about the lack of order and how these families, especially the so-called black families, are not strong because a little sister-spirited individual can throw a tantrum because she doesn't know how to communicate or comprehend, and they could just walk and leave and take a man's family, and now the order and structure in which God wanted things to go is gone, and the family courts in Babylon have their hand in this rigmarole. Well, I continue to tell you, young brothers, this next generation, pay attention to us. Hear what we're telling you. We're not telling you stuff because we just don't want to see you get out here or blah, 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 blah. No, we want you to get out here and make proper decisions because we don't want you to get out here and be reckless with your phallus, reckless with your private parts, and producing lives. And unfortunately, in this day and time, you don't even have to be reckless. You can pick a wife. You can be married. You can be calling yourself trying to do the things that are on point, and she knows what the law is, so she can go right in there. The scriptures tell you choose a master, so she chooses the courts. They are the ones over your marriage. That's why they can tell you, they can grant you a divorce or not grant you the divorce, but they're going to grant it because they want to see the families broken up. So these mugs can be taught these fake holidays and all fake holidays at work and on these jobs and all over the world. They talk about inclusion, all these little code words that point to indoctrination, because at the end of the day, they want to indoctrinate your child over educating your child. They want to indoctrinate your child over having your child being filled with the spirit of Yeshua. This is the plan for you. And you're just a sperm donor in the equation, brothers. And that's why you have to really, really be led by anything other than that thing that's in your pants. You have to really be led. You can't be emotional in that regard. You got to think like kings, because a king is thinking about how to dismantle your whole family, your whole order, your whole community. And it's people within your community that are capitulating, and they will acquiesce to the foolishness. Don't fret, don't marvel, don't worry about it. At the end of the day, everything's going to work out. But at the end of the day, Babylon has to make money. So even though you can walk in that courtroom, they say, we ain't divorcing y'all, because they got the power. They're God. They can say it. You're signed to paperwork with them. You're not even married to God. You are signed and married in a three-way polygynous marriage, the state, you, and that woman. And they're going to prove it to you by just dismantling you right in your face, tell you how much they're going to take from your earnings and everything else. They want to dismantle, destroy, and embarrass you by any means necessary. And she's going to help them do it. She's the pawn. And she'll be a teacher for Babylon. She'll do all the things that the scriptures tell her she's supposed to do for you and be employed for you as a wife in that role. She'll do it freely with the world. So again, don't marvel. Please don't be surprised if behind closed doors she takes off that mask because she has your child and she's married to you. She doesn't have to keep the mask on anymore at that point. She can show you who she really is. And the nagging starts and the bickering starts. And the tantrums and the irritating and antagonizing starts. And then she clicks on one day and say, you know what? I've started the process, but I don't have to keep on going back and forth over no holidays, over no beliefs, over no nothing. I could just go to Massa, because you only could choose between one or two masters. So I'm going to go to the courts. I don't need God for this. I don't need Yahweh. I don't need Jesus. I don't need Pastor. I'll be back to you, Pastor, but I'm going to go to the courts first, because you're an officer for them anyway. You had a wedding in your church, in your temple. So I'm going to go to them and be let free so I can do whatever I want with these babies. This is feminism. And don't be naive. Don't be naive to believe that feminism exists in Babylon. It exists in your society. And it doesn't exist in the quote unquote church. This modern day church. Don't be naive to think feminism doesn't exist where you worship every Sunday.